So Chris says, hey guys, I got a client who has a whole bunch of branded domains for brand protection, all 301 redirecting to the main.com site. The client is looking to leverage these domains more, and I was wondering if there's anything from an SEO point that could be used or something to monetize them with. Would link building be a good idea? These domains are quite old and have been aged for 4 to 5 years. Curious to get your opinions. Mark, that's a really good question for you. I'm not even sure how to answer that one. What would you do?
Yeah. Link building is always a good idea, except those 301s are not really powerful domains redirecting to the client side. They're just domains that were purchased, TLDs, which don't really provide a protection. That 301, anything that Google is going to push through that 301 is going to go directly to the money site. That's why we build the SEO shield. Now, if you want to power up all of those existing domains, this is where it becomes so much work, because what he's talking about is building his own private blog network. So bringing these out from a 301 into existence so that they provide an additional push to the money site. So you're talking about developing each one, content, images, videos, whatever, an SEO shield, because now you're separating the entities, or you're making it an additional entity or additional part of this entity. And we don't ever want to confuse Google. So now we have to create the relationships between the main site and this PBN that you're thinking of building, which can become ridiculous, especially the expense. This is one of the reasons why when we were thinking about creating the expansions to our RYS stacks, we said, well, rather than building a PBN, why don't we just expand the existing G site, create the keyword relevance, and then push the power from there into the categories on the money site, mirror the money site on the G site, mirror the G site in the GMB, doesn't matter if it's local or whatever it is, local is relative. Try to mirror those silos in press releases in some kind of way, and then push the link building through the keyword relevance that we've already created and into our entity stacks and everything else that we do that's part of this, into the tier 1 branded, which we're claiming in our schema. And so to me, building all of that power, expanding that RYS stack, which already pushes massive power, and expanding it, extending it so that it creates even more power, pushing power into your silos, pushing then your content out into your syndication network, into a claimed footprint that's no longer obviously there just to provide links back to your website, but it's there serving a purpose. It's part of your brand. It's what you do. It's what everybody else does. Everybody else tweets. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. They're on Pinterest. They're everywhere. So why wouldn't you be? And why wouldn't you be taking advantage of the SEO benefits, since you know a bit more than everybody else? Because you're obviously looking at the SEO benefits behind this. What would you do to monetize them? Like nothing, unless you're waiting to putting all of the work that it takes to rank each and every one of these, which means an SEO shield for each one. And it means probably a GMB for each one, and then looking how you're going to claim that footprint. Or if you just want to separate the entity altogether so that they do create that ambiguity, but in a good way, so that you're ranking multiple entities for that same set of terms that you're trying to target. But now it becomes an idea of, okay, how much am I going to have to spend, or how much is this client willing to spend to get this done? Yeah, it doesn't matter if they've been aged, I'm reading the rest of this, 4 or 5 years. Doesn't really matter. You can take a brand new domain, doesn't even have to be a .com, .net, or whatever. It could, we're ranking .club, .co, whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. What matters is only how much power you're pushing into these domains to rank them. That's all that matters now. And how well you're taking care, of course, of the entity that you're targeting through each one of these. And so how much money or time are you going to invest? How much money does the client have? That always comes into play. Link building is always a good idea, but we don't do it anywhere except through the SEO shield or through T1 branded, right, or outside to press releases, which is a good way to shield yourself, or any other asset that is not the money site. Don't touch the money site. And if you have those domains that are 301 directly, they're redirecting to the main.com site, then you're building links basically directly to the money site through that 301 redirect. I don't know if that really answered the question. So to answer it more succinctly, I wouldn't do anything with them. Build out your SEO shield, build out your entity, build out your brand, push power into that, and rank for additional terms. Monetize that rather than anything else.
Agreed.